You're listening to Turi Ryder's She Said What podcast. I'm Turi, along with Marci Persky. In this installment, we examine exactly how hard it is to get even one thing done. Or in Marci's case, getting 157 things done and repairing Elvis's gold lamé arm. I have learned what we learned today.
Yeah.
I can do one thing a day other than the basics. One thing. These people who are super efficient and like, well, in the morning I go to Pilates and then I go to work. But then at the lunchtime I go and get my hair cut and my nails done. And then I take the dog out for a walk and brush his teeth. And by 3 o'clock, I'm thinking, why can't I be that person? Today I tried to do two things, just two things, other than my pathetic schedule that basically is write some stuff, record some stuff, think of some stuff, go to a pool. But today I thought, okay, I can do two things. I can get my booster shot and I can get my teeth cleaned at the dentist and my other regular stuff. What was I thinking? What was I thinking?
What was more dramatic, the shot or the dentist?
It's not, I wish I could say that any of it was dramatic. It's that feeling when you realize that you're going to be late to absolutely everything. And there's, and if you aren't already late, the people you're supposed to do the stuff with are going to make you late or later.
Yeah, I'm not even going to tell you what I did today.
Well, you will. So I went off to get the booster shot. I was astonished to see that the drugstore, the chain drugstore, literally around the corner had these things wide open. You could get your shot whenever you wanted. So I got to the store right on time. And that's when I realized that there's no special line for people getting their shots. You have to get in line with somebody who needs extensive advice on how to take this new prescription. And then behind her, some guy who needs to understand how to apply, I'm not sure, wart remover maybe? Wasn't clear. Behind him, a guy who wants to return a blood pressure monitor while he complains about how soon the last one died and whether this takes the right kind of batteries, the kind he had before, and can he move them from this machine to that machine. It took me 30 minutes to get to the front of the line. And then I said, well, I'm here for my booster. And he said, well, fill out this form. So I sat down in the chair and I filled out the form. It took about 2 minutes. He's wait over there. I hand him the thing and I wait over there. And you'd have thunk there were 20 more people in front of me, but no, just me sitting. And finally someone comes out the little locked door and I say, hopefully, like one of those dogs when you've been away for a while, how your dog looks at you like, are you ever going to leave me again? I had that look on my face. Are you ever going to leave me again? And I said to the woman in the shirt from the store, I said, are you going to give me my vaccine? And she said, no, I'm opening the door for the guy who picks up the garbage. And I'm sitting there again.
Did you bite her on the ankle?
I thought about it. I said, could you please convey to somebody that she goes, she said, you're waiting for your shot. I'm like, are these chairs just for people to hang out and read the newspaper, eat an ice cream sundae? I'm in a drugstore. I'm sitting under the sign that says patients wait here. Why else would I be there? And they have cameras everywhere. God forbid you should steal a bottle of calamine lotion. Don't they have a camera that shows the person waiting outside the door for 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes? And so now I'm late for the dentist. I literally run to transit. And that's when I realized the transit is delayed due to construction. And there's just no way that I'm going to make it on time. So I tell a little white lie. Hi, I'm on the platform. I'm actually haven't paid my $250 yet because I don't want to pay my $250 if they're just going to do their little, nope, you're 20 minutes late. We can't see you. Come back.
Yeah.
And I said, well, fine then. And I went back home and I thought, I still only got one thing done today. No matter how hard I try. I planned this like a well-oiled machine. I bet still one thing done. That's all. And then
Your machine needs more oil.
Oh, speaking of oil, I did get the 35-year-old car back today.
Oh.
That was another thing. I decide because it's filthy that I'll get the first layer of filth off at the car wash, even though I know that the sunroof leaks. I know this. I know it. But there's something about like having your little towel ready to soak up a couple of drops
Oh,
and finding out that the problem has gotten a lot worse. Let me just put it to you this way. My hair got washed and waxed today.
I had a car like that, and my kids would all yell battle stations and each hold up
A
a
towel.
bunch of towels.
Yes.
No, yeah, all four of them each had like 4 or 5 towels
Yep,
each
that's right.
because everything leaked in that car.
That's right. There are certain products that you buy that make people think that you're not really a girl. Like if if
Like,
if I walk into the auto parts store and say, "Do you have the Meguiar's?" They look at me like,
oh,
"How do you know what that is
I
exactly?" This
thought
is
you were talking like penis enlargement or something.
no, they're no. Well, then they would look at me, but they'd wonder why I was in the auto parts store. They'd say, "Wrong
I
part,
guess
lady.
they would.
Wrong part." In this day and age, it could be, could be that
It could
part
be
that I
anything.
had. Yes, you could have any of those parts and still call yourself whatever you want. So, did you get more than one thing done today?
I have to pick up a ton of kittens, a cat that may be pregnant, take them all out to the ark, get them vaccinated. It takes an hour to get all these animals vaccinated, loaded back in the car. Then, as we're going through the forest road to go back to return them to their foster home, one of them poops. And Eve, who's in the passenger side, says, "Pull over, I'm going to throw up."
Your daughter
Oh,
needs to throw
it
up
was,
every time a cat poops?
this was bad poop.
All right, I
This
don't
one
think
was
I need
bad.
to hear the
This was a
varieties of
full
kitten.
over.
Want to hear
And
this?
then I was like, so I dropped them back off, get home, and I'm still late for the podcast. Oh
That's all
yeah,
right.
I ran out and fed the goats too.
Well, I wouldn't want hungry goats. That would be
No,
bad.
and swept the poop off the back deck where apparently they spent most of their day today.
You have poop on the brain today.
Everywhere.
So everything
It's
is
been a
poop
poopy
with you.
day. Okay, I have a question for you though. This is driving me nuts
Okay.
and making me really hostile. So
You wait, wait,
at the
wait. Can you conjugate hostile? I believe hostile.
true,
Yes.
more hostily,
Yes.
the hostiliest. So in March, everyone was saying, "I can't wait for winter to be over. When's winter gonna be over?" Wham, 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 wham. Today's our first 80-degree day, and people are so crabby. It's so hot. I'm sweating. I'm like, no one's ever happy. They want it to be
You
hot.
just noticed this? How old are you?
At the grocery store, they were crabby. Even on the road, they're crabby.
Maybe they're just crabby and that's just a convenient excuse. Maybe every week, whatever there is that they can think of becomes the focus of the crabbing, I think.
Well, doesn't that shorten your life? Shouldn't they be gone by
Well,
now?
don't you? If they're really crabby people, do you mind if they're shortening their lives? Does it bother you?
Well, no.
All right,
I
then.
just want to
You
know why
should
they're still
welcome it. You'd be
alive.
like, be worse. You'll be gone sooner.
Get off my lawn. But these are like young crabby people.
Well, not for long.
No, because not the way to live.
I have no answer for you there. I have many things I could be crabby about. I'm spending a lot of time trying to renegotiate various, about the 1095 or 999 a month until suddenly you look around and you go, I'm paying for all this stuff that I don't want or need.
Yes.
Right. You may inadvertently sign up for something where, and they count on this, the price is one thing and then it goes up and then it goes up again. And you sort of have this inertia, that feeling of,
Yep.
yeah, well, I'll deal. Yeah, it's probably, but to change it is worse. And then at some point, and I don't know what that point is for you, but at some point you just look at the bill and go, holy cats, this is enough. This is just enough. So then it's kind of like trying to take a quilt apart and still have all the pieces so that you can requilt them.
Yes.
So I'm pulling apart all of these different name a utility, and I'm examining it and pulling it apart and trying to figure out how to fit it in differently and more thriftily.
I'm going through that with a how do I say this? A computer program that I have to pay for annually that gets higher and higher. And I only use like a tiny percentage of it, but
Yes.
I need that tiny percentage.
Well, they know that. It's like all the buttons on your whatever you've got. There are always buttons there that you're never, ever, ever going to use. but they charge you more. The hardest thing, I think, when you're trying to buy anything is to get a version without the doodads. And that applies to everything from cars to wedding gowns. If
Yep.
you want a simple version of whatever it is, you can just quadruple the cost. And if you don't believe me, walk into any high-end stereo store and take a glimpse at the $3,000 turntable that doesn't even move the needle over onto the record by itself.
No, you have to. All that stuff around here is secondhand because it works. The old stuff works.
Yeah, well, the old stuff does work for a while, but then they fix it so it doesn't work anymore.
Oh, don't even say that. You're wishing death on half my house.
I was reading an article about a software program that a bunch of teachers use that teaches in a foreign language, and it teaches this chanting of a particular thing that's been around for thousands of years. And there are a few different ways to do it. And some guy, it was just his passion project. It was his life's work to create a software program that taught this. And all of the people who teach this subject loved it. And then he died before he communicated the software to anybody else or upgraded it. So people are desperately contacting each other on do you have a computer that still runs medieval Badger Speak 101? Because I need medieval Badger Speak. It's a desperate situation. It's kind of like if you've ever been driving through a major city at dawn and the lights just go out little by little by little. It's like that with this program. And I don't even use it, but I feel so bad for the people. The guy's partner, they asked the guy's husband, what happened to the original computer? Maybe we can save it. And he said, I was in grief. I think I gave it away.
Oh, no.
Well, he said it was really old. And everybody's like, yeah, that's the problem. Yeah. I feel bad for people who still want to write in cuneiform. I really do. I gave away one of the 2 manual typewriters in the house.
I almost bought one over the last weekend, and then I remembered that, like, I gave one away. I'm like, why would I pay money for something that I gave to someone for free?
Was it Pepto-Bismol pink? Because I saw one online that was Pepto-Bismol pink.
No, this was just almost the same one that I had. It was really, really, really old school.
Yeah.
And I actually had, like, this arm coming out of it. It was kind of like, I think at one point it was supposed to be like Elvis's arm because it was, the sleeve was like
you had it like an art installation, a typewriter with an arm installed coming
you pressed a button and the arm would move around.
I remember that.
It was very Addams Family or Munsters.
Yeah. And what was the purpose of this?
There was no purpose.
Well, I'm glad you didn't do it again, though. Once was enough.
Yes, once was enough. And I don't think I'll ever find that arm again.
Probably at Halloween time you can source those arms.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But this one was in like a gold lamé jumpsuit arm.
Well, I'm sure you could make it a gold lamé jumpsuit if you wanted it to be. I'd be wondering about your priorities and your use of time, but hey, we do this podcast, and who's to say that's any more important?
There you go.
If you've made it this far, chances are you've been enjoying Turi Ryder's She Said What podcast, in which case you might also like my book, She Said What, A Life on the Air. You can find that at your neighborhood independent bookstore or on Amazon. Marci and I really appreciate your good reviews wherever you care to leave them. Your kind words help the podcast grow. Thanks.